Hey guys, Jacob here. Now before I show the puzzle in this video, I want to give an explanation of why I made it. So, you may have heard of the Megaminx, right? Well, the Megaminx is like a 3x3 but with 12 sides instead of 6. It is mechanically the same, like you have centers, edges, and corners, except the Megaminx just has more of everything. Therefore, the 3x3 and Megaminx are equivalent as far as mechanism and just how they work. So later on, people had the idea to make the Gigaminx, which is a 5x5 equivalent. So you have centers, plus centers, X centers, midges, wings, and corners. But on a Gigaminx, you just have more of everything. Now, there are even bigger minxes, like the Teraminx, Petaminx, and even the Examinx. But what about the even layered cubes? Is there even such thing as an even minx? Well, of course there is. The Master Kilominx is the 4x4 Megaminx equivalent. It goes between the Megaminx and the Gigaminx because you got 3 layers per edge, 5 layers per edge, but this one has 4. And it has all the same types of pieces as a 4x4. Now, they make 6x6 and 8x8 Megaminxes. They also make 9x9 Megaminxes called the Petaminx, and the 11x11, which is called the Examinx. 9 and 11, but what about the 10? No one's made a 10 yet. Well, not until now. I present to you the Emperor Kilominx. This is the 10x10 Megaminx equivalent, the lowest order minx that hasn't been made until now. So this is what goes between the Petaminx and the Examinx, because you have 9, 10, 11. Now, as exciting as this puzzle is, the turning quality is horrendous. It's gotten a tiny bit better since I've worked the lube around, but now the outer layers and innermost layers turn okay, but this puzzle catches on every single turn. And I cannot do a single turn without having to wrestle with it. Some layers will go with less trouble, but the most problematic is the in-between layers. And see, even the outer layer's giving me trouble. See, I'm not even going to try and do a full rotation because it just catches on literally everything. Oh my. See, it doesn't want to go back. Like, the turning quality is similar to that of the inner layers of the tiny Petaminx. Which actually, I said this puzzle doesn't turn well at all. The outer layers turn fine, but the inner layers are very catchy. This puzzle actually has worse turning quality than this one. But still, though, it's a 10x10 minx, and me, and as I'm sure you do too, have always wanted one. And for that reason, I'm going to be selling this on my Etsy. Now, because of its poor turning quality, I'll be selling it for cheap. It is going to be $500, which is not a small amount of money, but that's cheap for what this is. A 3D printed puzzle with nearly 2,000 pieces. And for anyone who would like to buy it despite its turning quality, they can fill the gap between their Petaminx and their Examinx. because Shingxiao has released minxes up through 8x8, even layered wise, but no 10 or 12. So, don't miss your chance to own a poor turning but unique 10-layer minx. Now, the last thing I'm going to mention is the reason I named it the Emperor Kilominx. The name actually comes from the Pyraminx naming scheme. So, the Pyraminx, let me grab one, is a corner-turning tetrahedral puzzle. They make 4, 5, and 6-layer versions of it. The 4-layer is called the Master Pyraminx. The 6-layer, or the 5-layer is called the Professor Pyraminx. 6-layer is the Royal Pyraminx. And the 7-layer, which isn't mass-produced, is called the Emperor Pyraminx. And the Kilominxes, the even-layered minx series, has a name. So the Kilominx, which is a 2x2 Megaminx equivalent, is just called the Kilominx. 4x4, which is the next one up, is the Master Kilominx. And then the 6x6, this is the only difference, it's called the Elite Kilominx instead of the Professor Kilominx. 8x8 is called Royal Kilominx, so I thought it'd be fitting to call the 10x10 the Emperor Kilominx. So, and as far as the weight and size of this puzzle, I forgot to mention that. It weighs 1,370 grams, or right at 3 pounds, which is actually a little bit more than the 23 weighs. So this is the heaviest puzzle I've ever made. It also has an edge length of 62 millimeters, which makes it fit between the Yushin Petaminx and the Shingxiao Examinx nicely. So, with that out of the way, I know it doesn't turn great, but I hope you still enjoyed this video. And this is going to be on Etsy for $500. There's only going to be one, though. Because, especially because it didn't turn out as well as I hoped, I just don't see the point in making another one. Plus, this gives you a chance to own a unique puzzle that can also fill in an important gap in your collection. So, with that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.